So this one says new service plans for Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Viva SKUs. And says, as previously announced, we're releasing our new experiences for Viva Engage and Answers in Microsoft Viva in early 2023. We're now assigning the new service plans to the corresponding SKUs to get ready for the release. So Viva Engage is another bizarre marketing thing from Microsoft, where they've taken a bit of Yammer and then called it Viva Engage. So that if you look at Yammer through the web, it's Yammer. If you look at Yammer through, I think, a tab, that might be Yammer, or they might rename that. But if you look at Yammer through the sidebar app of Teams, that's now Viva Engage, but it still just shows you Yammer. So there's a mixed up of stuff there. There's then like stories that they made and storylines, again, which are in Yammer, but they're calling Viva Engage. So I think it's just very confusing. I can't see anyone really going full on into Viva Engage. Again, if you disagree, let me know in the comments below. So this service plan is intended to support the currently available basic features in Viva Engage, currently available storylines, communities, etc. To ensure continued Yammer experience, so it's got the flip to Yammer. It's just on about Viva Engage. To ensure continued Yammer experience, this service will also enable Yammer services. So if you're on the normal licenses, so most people are usually on E3 if you're an enterprise, and most people on Business Premium if you're a small, medium-sized business. So Viva Engage communities and communication, if you're an existing Microsoft Viva Suite customer, so that's everything that Microsoft badge as Viva you can pay for and get it all in one bundle, may see the service plan available. This service plan will be used to provision the new Viva Engage features, Leadership Corner, campaigns, Ask Me Anything, etc. in early 2023. So again, looks like they're rebadging stuff as Viva just so they can then charge an additional license for it. I've may have missed it, but I've not seen anything about Leadership Corner campaigns and Ask Me Anything. Seems like that's stuff that you can already do in Yammer, because you can do an Ask Me Anything. You just have like one page that says Ask Me Anything. We used to do it in my old corporate job, and anyone can ask a question and everything's kept together in the thread, and it's nice because you don't need to use Teams, and you can get it across, you know, a very broad, big enterprise organization without much work, without thinking about all of the limits and stuff that you might have in a team, which is more for like actually collaborating to do your job. In small and medium-sized businesses, Yammer and Viva Engage just confuses things, because you can do most of what you want to do in Teams anyway. So then why are you asking someone to jump out into a separate service where you're going to lose stuff versus just keeping it in Teams? I'm Gavin Jones, founder and director at MeTime, where we help people save time at work using Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Teams. If you need help saving time at work, I've got a free course linked in the description below that you can get some tips and tricks on how to use Microsoft Teams, Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Planner, and make yourself more productive at work. If you're struggling to get your whole organization to change, we've got another free course that might be useful to help generate some ideas that you might be able to steal to make your whole organization work in a more modern way. And then Viva Engage Knowledge. If you're an existing Viva Suite or Viva Topics customer, you may see the service plan available. Service plan will be used to provision new answers in Microsoft Viva experiences in early 2023. So Viva Topics, again, on the face of it, it's quite useful. And if you buy Viva Topics, then again, Microsoft announced ages ago that you'd be able to see topics wherever you can, work. But then it was quite delayed coming out in Teams. Looks like it's delayed coming out in Yammer, and now they're calling it Viva Engage Knowledge, which is across Viva Topics and Yammer. It's just very confusing and seems like they're removing stuff. And again, you can go through this and have a look at the Q&A. If you slow the video down, if I have a scroll down, if you spot anything that is of interest, then pause the video and go and have a read of it. But just as a quick aside, Microsoft also in Viva Engage, which is not mentioned here, as well as storylines, which is just seeing your own feed of information that doesn't live in a Viva community, I think as they're called now, which I think's strange, because it's just like updating stuff that's just going into a random feed that may or may not be shown to other people, a bit like Facebook. Whereas for work, it makes sense to have like you're putting stuff to do with this subject here. Viva Stories is then stealing like Instagram stories and Snapchat stories and putting it into Yammer, or now Viva Engage, as they may want to call it. Presumably, it'd be a lot easier if they just rebadged Yammer as Viva Engage. And I don't know if that's what they've got planned, but they haven't got it planned right now because Yammer's still Yammer, and Viva Engage is like a blancmange of bits showing Yammer from something in Teams. Bizarre. But anyway, Stories is coming to Yammer, which is like, I just don't understand why Microsoft think this is a good idea. So they've already had Stories in LinkedIn and got rid of it, presumably because not a lot of people use Stories. And so if people aren't willing to use Stories on LinkedIn, which is where they can sort of promote themselves and, it's going out into the ether and people can see it, I don't understand why they think people are going to use Stories at work, like just internal to work. So usually people are a bit more open in their personal lives than they are at work. I can't see Stories being used. And also the whole point of a story is that it disappears after 24 hours. If you're creating something for work, then why would you want it to disappear? If you're doing a video, and the best place for that is to put it into SharePoint, which is now Stream on SharePoint, because Stream sucks up anything that's in SharePoint anyway, so making itself already obsolete. So you put it into SharePoint, and then put it into a page, and then that page lives forever, and it will get recommended to people based on the content of that page, and it'll go on your internet and show up in Teams. And then if you do it the same thing in a story, that just disappears and is lost forever, and you don't know if anyone's going to see it. You can't direct, it's on Yammer. I think it's dead in the water before it starts, but let me know what you think in the comments below.